We're only going to grade the ones from the students, but everyone's welcome to send them.
For the first one, I don't know if I think it's an update.
Good start. And then a reminder, every week from then on, you're just going to reply to the last one. So it's like one big email thread. Now that we made the your name one, use that. Let's see if that's working for everybody, but I think it is. Does that seem to be working for everybody? And then if you haven't yet, if you're not on the updates, the your team name at Longhorn Startup alias, then you want to talk to Isha so she can make sure she gets your email address on there. All right, South by Tables. Do you guys have any idea what's going on with South by Tables? No. Okay, basically during South by, there's a startup crawl. It's like one of the biggest things at South by. Have any of you been to the startup crawl? Some of you have been to the startup crawl. There are like thousands of people come to the startup crawl, and there'll be about 100 startups, and every startup gets a table, or it's like kind of like a trade show, like really simple. And the reason we made it is because at South by, if you're a startup, it's almost impossible for anyone to notice you. Like you can like spend $25,000, rent out a bar, throw a big party, hire a band, and it's like, so what? Like, I mean, just like, okay, one more party, like it's not really, doesn't do anything. And to sponsor, like to do something at South by costs $25,000 to get a booth or do something there. And so the startup crawl is an event we do where the whole star of the show is the startups. There's like 100 startups that have tables. And it's all the first floor of Capital Factory, and the VIP floor is upstairs, and there's like all kinds of other stuff going on. And it's over time, doing it so long, it's now actually the biggest thing at South by. Like there's no other bigger party of anything, of like number of people that come. And it's on the first night that kicks it off on Friday night. And like I said, thousands of people will come through. And the way it's designed, if you've ever been to the Trail of Lights at Zilker Park, it's like one way. So you have to see all the Trail of Lights, like you can't just get part of it. Well, that's how we call it the Trail of Lights. That's what it's like here, because the point is there's no bad stop. There's no bad place to be, because every single person that comes through is going to walk by your table. And so you will see thousands of people, you'll talk to hundreds of people, really good exposure. And it does normally cost money. It costs a couple $100 for the startups. Still not a lot of money. But you all get a free table, and they'll make like a little banner for you, like that you get to keep, like a pop-up banner that you can put next to your table. And Everett, I think, is helping to coordinate those this year. And you want to get on that now so that that'll be ready a month from now for South by. And also make sure that you've got that Friday thing on your calendar so that you guys can be here. But it's a really great opportunity, both to get a lot of exposure, because all these people are going to get to see what you do and learn about it and talk to people. People meet investors that are walking through there. It's not like the point of it, but it does definitely happen. I've walked through with Stephen Wolfram. I don't know if you know Stephen Wolfram, but like he walked through the startup crawl with me one year. Next year it was General Rainey from the Army Futures Command. Like there's all kinds of really great people walking through that'll see you. And probably best, honestly, just the most valuable is it makes you explain what you do over and over again, like 100 times, and that's just like pitch practice. That's really good too. So I really encourage you all to take advantage of it. I hope you can all be here. And you want to make sure that you've got that all sorted out, that you've got your table signed up with Capital Factory, and you've got the banners made, and Isha and Everett should be able to help you with that. Any questions? All right. Today, it's like every other day. We're running 5 minutes late. We're going to start off with guest mentor introductions. We've got 5 awesome guest mentors here tonight. I told you about them last week. And we've got another great lineup coming for the following week. They will come up and introduce themselves. Everyone who's up here presenting, there are screens on the sides, but whatever's on the screen on the side is in front of you right here. And so you can just look over there. Stormy, come on. No, he doesn't have any donuts for you. So we'll have the mentors introduce themselves. It's pretty obvious, and some of you have been here before, so it'll be really easy, but it's really just kind of like quickly like who you are, why you're here, what kind of things could you be helpful with, what should they ask you about, and what kind of things are you most excited about or interested in that they might want to meet with you about. Then we'll have the companies give their updates. they get up and they give a kind of like 1 to 2 minute pitch, like really quick elevator pitch, which they're practicing every week. And then kind of here's what we accomplished in the past week, and here's what our goals are for the week coming up. As the guest mentors are listening, you're going to get to see all those. I also sent you the wrong link in advance, apparently, but I think I all texted you the right link with the company bio, kind of the explanations of all the companies for this. They're here. And so you're kind of listening for 2 or 3 that kind of catch your eye, that you were most interested in talking to. And then after they do that, we'll break into office hours. As you can see, every team has a table with their little sign on it. And the teams stay in place, the mentors move around. We have lead mentors who come in every week. It's a huge sacrifice and commitment. Thank you for doing that. And they meet with them every week. And then we have guest mentors that come in one time each week. And so the lead mentors will be at their tables meeting with them, and the guest mentors will help you. Myself and Isha's our TA over here on the side will help you get to the right spot to help you talk to typically 2 or 3 of them over the time that you're here. You'll have about an hour. So pretty easy. We've done it now a couple times. We're getting the hang of it. And so we'll do the guest mentor intros. If guest mentors, if you wouldn't mind coming up over here on the side, I'll pop up here. It's just those 3. Yeah. What can you help with? Do you have what do you? At the end. That's it. Okay. So name, intro, why are you here? What kind of things can you help with? And Isha, if you could help me remember for the next time, we want to add a 5th one on here, which is what are you excited about? What could you, like what are you most interested in? Which would be the other thing? And just kind of go rapid fire, hand the mic to the next person, and we'll run through it. Thanks, Ian.
Thanks, Josh. So my name is Ian Clark. I started out, I have a degree in computer science and artificial intelligence. Probably my main claim to fame is that I'm the creator of Freenet, which was the first distributed, decentralized peer-to-peer network. We pioneered technologies like cryptographic contracts, which later became the basis for Bitcoin, distributed hash tables, a variety of other things. That was way back in 99, 2000. Since then, I've done a lot of stuff applying machine learning to various practical things, online dating. I built the people matching engine for Plenty of Fish, one of the more popular online dating websites in the US. For the last 4 years, I've actually been focused on Freenet again, working on the sequel, which will be a general purpose, decentralized replacement for the World Wide Web. In terms of why I was invited here, I've actually been involved with Capital Factory really since the beginning, back in 2009. But I can help with applying AI to real-world practical problems, and also decentralized systems, and just, I guess, more generally, kind of bridging the technical with the business. Yep. Perfect.
One clap. Hello, my name is Bill Kilday. My career started about 40 years ago at Jester Dormitory. Anybody live at Jester Dormitory in here? Yeah? Okay, well, I met a guy who I ended up working for 40 years on a variety of projects. It was first a mapping startup company that was called Keyhole in the late 90s. It was bought by Google in 2004, and on February the 8th of 2005, 20 years ago exactly, we launched Google Maps. So I worked on the Google Maps team and the Google Earth team. John ended up running all of Geo at Google, and I worked for him for that whole run. We spun out as a separate company in 2015 to start a gaming company. Are there any Pokemon Go fans in here? Anybody play Pokemon Go? Oh, I get one guy. Thank you. Or Ingress. Yeah, Josh was a big Ingress player. So I worked in gaming as well. So my career is mainly in location-based products, mapping, some 3D CAD stuff as well. We bought a company called SketchUp, so I got to know that market really well. Not a gamer, but would enjoy talking to folks in the gaming industry. I still have my ties into Niantic. Why was I invited here? Yeah, I think Josh.
That was kind of why you were invited.
That was why I was invited. Okay, thank you.
It's not like how do you know Josh?
And my daughter Camille's over here. She's a freshman advertising major. So if you need a brand ambassador at South by, go talk to Camille.
Awesome, thank you.
Hi, I'm Jason Cohen. In the last 25 years, I've built 2 companies, and they're both worth multiple billions of dollars right now. The first one was called Smart Bear, so that's what I'm known as online, because that's when I kind of got online and started blogging, because it was so cool in 2004 to blog. And I guess it's kind of cool now, Substack. The most recent one is called WP Engine, so if you came down Fifth Street, which you didn't because you came up from UT, I guess, but if you did, then you would see the sign on the outside there, so that's always nice. That's kind of the best part, really. I was one of the first founders or first mentors in 2009, so that's probably why I was invited. What I can help with is many things. So I guess I would say...
And you're a UT alum.
And I'm UT alum, yeah, that's right. But I don't care about that much. So I guess what I would say is whatever thing is a difficult truth, maybe embarrassing, you don't want to talk about it, maybe you shouldn't talk about it, that's what I want to talk about.
Hi everyone, I'm Samit Varma. Moved to Austin about 6 years ago from Los Angeles, where I was a partner in a venture firm that I started $450 million later, early stage focus. Shifted over to being on the entrepreneur side and kind of became a serial entrepreneur, mainly in the biotech space. I founded a company called Selenex, which was sold after a year, and then did 2 more companies in a similar space, which is gene therapy, kind of drug development. I'm here because I'm a huge fan of Capital Factory, and they're an investor in my company as well. We're about to close a $30 million round tomorrow. I can help. I've seen a ton of pitches. I've invested in a lot of startups personally myself as well. So I've got a lot of experience. I can hopefully help you guys with your ideas and getting to the next phase.
Hey everybody, Chris Lynch. My background, about the last 10 or so years, I've been working primarily in defense and defense tech, so it's also going to come into why I'm here. When you hear Josh mention bringing General Rainey through Capital Factory, I helped bring the Secretary of Defense at the time, which was...
The first one,
which was Ash Carter, who is now no longer with us, but brought him down here, brought the Secretary of the Army down here, and really focused on how we could bring incredible people like yourselves into the world of defense and defense tech. I think it's incredibly important that we make sure that our country is leading, sort of the march on protecting us and our allies. And a couple things that I noticed just from looking at the companies that are here today. I'm a musician. I love playing music, so there's a few creative things that are here. I'm also a gamer. I started off in video games. And, I've started a number of different companies. I started a company called Rebellion Defense most recently, focused again on defense tech and making sure that we have the leading technology to protect us and our allies. So,
awesome.
Thank you.
Great, perfect. There's always lots of people to thank when things go right, but yet literally, this floor we're on right here wouldn't be here if it weren't for Chris. He was really brought the first big Army general, or bigger than that, here, and helped set all that up. And just a good reminder, you're going to see this every week here, but just the relationships you're making now, they're going to be relationships you're going to have for the rest of your life. And you look up here today, and like Jason and Ian were here in 2009 when we were starting Capital Factory, and the world looked a lot different, and I was probably a lot different, and Austin was a lot different, and then Jason and Bill both went to school. We're in your shoes, like we're at UT going to school, and Jonathan, and others, and these people, we all stay connected, and it's super powerful, and once again, you are so fucking lucky to have all these people here. And again, as for the lead mentors and for the guest mentors, I say it every week, but I will say it every week. These people all have a lot of other places they could be. They have families, they have other businesses they're trying to run, they have lots of other fun things they could go do, and we super, super appreciate you spending these couple hours here with us tonight. So thank you all. All right, next week, also great mentors, and I think there's a couple more even, but Bernie Brenner, a couple of people here know Bernie. Amazing entrepreneur. He was one of the founders of TrueCar. They're a really, really successful, really cool company in the auto space. Now it's a company called Rollick, where he kind of took what he that same model he learned at TrueCar and applied it to a slightly different industry in motorsport and motorsports, like four-wheelers and things like that. Really expert at business development and like how to get your first customers, and like as a small company, how to go get big companies and like make yourself look big. He wrote a book called The Sumo Advantage, which is really good. Bill wrote a book also, which I really enjoyed. What was it? Never Lost? Remind me. Never Lost Again, about founding the beginnings of Google Earth and Google Maps and all that. Really good book. But Sumo Advantage, I often refer a lot of our startups to. Bill Babel, he was one of the founders of webmail.us, a big kind of like infrastructure email hosting provider. My actually first company was in email. We had some things in common from that. He was out at Virginia Tech. His company got bought by Rackspace in San Antonio. That's how I met him when he moved here with Jason Seitz. I think that was the same time, sorry. Him and Pat. And he's another Cattle Factory co-founder. He came in really in 2012 and he helped open up the space. He was really one of my co-founder in creating the space here. He's done a lot of crypto mining and crypto investing. Works with pretty technical, works with a lot of people. Bill's great. And Jason Kelly is one of the market leaders for IBM here in Texas. West Point grad, knows a lot about blockchain, knows a lot about a lot of other things, but very, very senior at IBM here in Texas. So there'll be more great people coming too. So every week, awesome people. All right, we are fortunately right on time. And now it's time for the company updates. Let's just, if we'll go this way this time. So if you could try to self-manage, kind of like next person jumping up and handing off the mic. We will start with Spicy Bowl.
Hello guys, I'm Ivy. Who likes to eating out here? Restaurants, anything? Perfect. And who sometimes feel bad about eating out? Either it's the money, for health. Yeah, perfect. So personal story. I'm an international student from China, and I came to the US to study when I was 14. So I left my family, and I just crave Chinese dishes a lot of the times. But the more I go eat out, the more I realize I don't really like the grease, the oil, the salt that's in every single dish in the Chinese restaurant. So I wanted to make them at home. But soon that I realized I didn't have the proper seasonings. Cardamom, star anise, bay leaf, all those different things. I didn't know where to get them, how much to use, how to use them. So I made Spiceable. It's a compact spice card. All the spices you would need for a certain cuisine are all gonna be selected and packed in the blister bubbles that are ready to be popped out into your pot. There's also a separate recipe card that gives you simple ingredients and easy to follow instructions, so it removes the hassle for you when you want to cook something new or unfamiliar. And I guess for last week, I actually changed away from this product design. I worked on redesigning the product, considering manufacturing logistics, and I also brainstormed and researched on different packaging materials. While researching suppliers and manufacturer and co-packers who was able to help with the manufacturing processes. And I also outlined the steps to go to a commercial kitchen. So this week I'm gonna be focusing on keep doing research on suppliers and manufacturing and acquire materials to be able to build this, and keep outlining the future steps, and also investigating the legal part about this business.
Hey, my name is Rambat. I work on Build, which is a CAD agent that helps hardware engineers automate some of the most repetitive tasks that they have to go through daily. Because these softwares are so laggy, sometimes even the save as can take you 10 minutes and these just add up over the day. So it was kind of a personal pain point. We started there. We have a very specific module that helps them do tolerance analysis, which is basically understanding all the mass manufacturing defects. We've been using that to kind of as the hood to get people to come on the calls. Managed to sell it to 3 companies, but also like mainly now focusing on, even if they don't want to buy that, finding out like what are the other pain points. I think we really need to get better at doing those discovery conversations. So we're looking to learn more about how to run those calls, make sure we're not biasing them towards the things that we're thinking about. And also looking to meet more product design firms, especially medical devices, So yeah, if anyone knows anyone in medical devices, we'd love to get the interest. We met with 5 customers last week. Started getting, we were hearing a lot of demands from our current users about the module that Zach kind of made an MVP for, and we're hoping to ship it this week. Yeah, that's overall.
Hi everyone, my name is Avis, and me and my co-founder, we founded GameTricks. So we realized that with esports, with the nature of esports, there's a ton of data, and the data is really, really granular. Like imagine you could find out, like, hey, at this current lineup in this football game, this is the play call. Imagine you could do that, like live within the game, and then with that you can make, predictions, or you can make adjustments within the coaching staff. And so with GameTricks, we want to do that for esports. So with the nature of the granularity of the data, we want to make sure that these teams, these esports teams that are competing competitively like every single day, and they want to get some sort of edge, we want to provide them that edge using AI to grab these data points and draw these connections with all these various data points like location and more traditional stat sheets. So a little bit of an update from last week. We finished iterating on our mobile website, and as well as implementing a waiting list, as well as strengthening our data pipelines, making it more robust, and as well as interfacing more with our data provider to get more live data stats and more game support as well as cold emailing a bunch of other esports organizations to see, hey, like what are you guys looking for? What are your pain points? Like if you're a coach, we want to know, like, hey, if you have a problem with a certain player, how are you currently gauging that? And what we can get help with, we want, if you guys know any esports organizations or like any competitive esports teams, then we want to maybe like get introduced and interface with them.
Good to have an ask at the end. Hand off the mic, somebody hasn't gone yet.
Okay, my name is Clint, and what my company is named is Young Bros. We are essentially a game publisher / accelerator who we work with game developers. We give them funding and also resources in terms of everything they would need on the business side, such as marketing or operations, to successfully launch their game in exchange for revenue and equity share in their game off launch. An example to make this easier is a developer that we worked with in the past. His name was Jacob. He had a game that was really good, and we saw the game was really good as well, but he didn't have the money to launch, and he didn't also know how to market his game to reach a larger audience. What we did for him is that we offered him funding as well as marketing needs in terms of influencer marketing, paid marketing to relaunch his game. And after his game relaunched, it was a big success, sold for over 600 grand. And from there, we got our revenue through equity in his game, as well as all the revenue share that they made when it launched. What did we accomplish last week? We met with 2 new prospects or developer teams that we wanted to work with in the future, as well as we have 2 projects in the pipeline right now about a release late February to March that we want to make sure go good. So we're buffing up the marketing as well as the community management on that. And who do we need help for? Right now, our main concern is scalability in terms of working with the most amount of developers as possible, because there's some issues in terms of if we're trying to partner with the most amount of teams, there's some changes that we have to do in terms of our concept to get there, and that's our current issue right now. And yeah, that's pretty much all.
Hey, my name's Henry. I'm the founder of Scraps. Did you know that for every released song, there are 2 to 3 fully finished tracks that never see light of day? This means that there's a surplus of unused music that is just collecting dust. Of course, one man's trash is another man's treasure, and at Scraps, we're building a marketplace to give these tracks a second life. We allow artists to sell what are essentially the publishing rights to these tracks to other artists, turning unused music into valuable assets. We didn't stop there. We also help artists monetize the project files to their released music. And we've also added support for other music assets like samples, templates, and logos. We've attracted some big artists who are selling on our platform. including Mookie, who's got over 3 million monthly Spotify listeners, and he's Grammy nominated, and West End, who's got over 2 million monthly Spotify listeners. We've expanded our marketplace to over 700 products across 500 different registered sellers, and we've done over 40 grand in transactions, no paid advertising. So last week I was working on a tracklist feature, which basically allows our customers to preview the audio in kind of a playlist form instead of just being able to see a preview for one track. And so this is part of enabling a new product on our marketplace, which will be bundles. So basically being able to bundle in a bunch of different product files or templates into one product. So next week, I want to focus on improving our customer retention rate, and there's a few kind of ways I want to go about this. Firstly, building out a strong, structured email marketing flow, throwing in some discounts in there as well as building a newsletter that I can reuse and kind of tweak every week. So who would I like to meet? If you know anyone in the artist or in the music industry, so artists, producers, managers, you know, it's always great to get new connections. So yeah, it'd be great. If you know anyone in that space, come talk to me.
Hi everyone, my name is Justin. I'm working on Ducky. Ducky is an AI tutor where students explain the things they've learned in class. The reason they do that is because teaching is one of the best ways to learn and retain information. For teachers, this is really helpful because they can finally see exactly where a student struggles without grades. So this takes a lot of weight off grades. And for other students who are struggling, they can learn from your explanations. And so the reason why we kind of started this is because most students after class, they forget about almost 75% of what they've learned. And so right before exams, they'll spend the week relearning the same information, hours cramming, and basically pulling all-nighters. After the course ends, they basically forget everything again. And so information and education is never compounded, and the focus is always getting grades. Yeah, it's always getting grades. So the small picture is that when you use Ducky, it helps you learn and retain information by the act of teaching Ducky. The big picture is that basically as you learn more, Ducky will grow with you, and you'll get this personalized database of everything you've learned, all explained in your own words. And so the more you use it, the more Ducky learns, and the more we can learn about you and exactly how you learn. What did we do last week? So we got the green light to work with Professor Dr. Fernando Llanos. He's a neuroscience professor at UT. That means we're getting around 10 to 35 more beta users next week. So excited for that. We got connected with Sonith at Z Fellows, and were able to interview with them. It looked pretty good. We also fixed some features. We had some bugs with uploading material and also just using the session in general, so we fixed that. For next week, we're looking to basically work with the new beta users. And yeah, so what do I need help with? I think the most important thing right now is probably marketing. We're looking to scale soon. We want as many users possible to test how effective and efficient Ducky would be. And that basically is it. Thank you.
I don't think the mic's on. You want to see if does it have a green light?
Hello, hello.
All right, yeah. Maybe you just have to hold it a little closer.
Okay, yeah. So Clipstack is the Jira for influencers. It's a platform that streamlines the entire video production workflow for content creators of all types. Currently, video production is very inefficient. File transfers are slow, projects are scattered across different platforms of Google Drive, and collaboration can be very distorted. These editors also download these massive video files, edit them on their local editing software, and re-upload them for review. This wastes a lot of time, storage, and resources, creating a lot of friction for the entire process. Clipstack changes all of that. Clipstack offers a centralized cloud-native workspace that enables content creators to store, manage, and track video production seamlessly for their teams. We offer an inbuilt task management system that keeps projects organized and enables content creators to work with their teams or collaborate with teams efficiently and effectively. We also have something called server-side rendering that also makes Flipstack even more powerful. Server-side rendering is where these local editors, they can still work on the local editing software, but instead of re-downloading and re-uploading these large massive files to get them reviewed, they can simply install or download an instruction file. This instruction file has all of the edit instructions from the local editing software, and they can upload this to Flipstack. Flipstack will process all these edit instructions on the server or on the cloud and generate the necessary edit video. And this can optimize collaboration, remove unnecessary storage waste, and time. It's optimizing the overall process and makes the overall video production workflow more seamless. So this is a little bit of our company, and what did we do last week? Last week we fleshed out more of our front end and our back end. We established our AWS stack, we set up our database design, and also set up our initial basic REST API calls. We also interviewed one of our closest YouTubers who has over 10 million subscribers, and he showed a lot of interest and expressed a lot of good feedback for us for what Flipstack should do and how we can make it a better product for them. What we're doing this week is we're trying to integrate the front end and the back end together and ensure everything's working seamlessly. And we also designed a few more pages for our overall video production workflow, and we're just ensuring how those things work in real-time code. And what we really help with is, I think, primarily marketing, because our market is kind of niche because of all these established YouTubers and influencers, and how do we get in contact with them more efficiently is what we're still looking into. Yeah, thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Nicole and I'm building Panacea. So I want you to imagine that something odd has been happening to you. You tell your friends how you feel, but they slowly gravitate away from you. Your parents offer kind words, but they can't support you. You are physically, mentally, and emotionally in pain. So you drop out of school and you quit your job, not to start a startup, but because you've been diagnosed with cancer. It's predicted that 1 in 5 people in this room will have to go through what I just described. From diagnosis to chemotherapy, radiation, treatment, all these points are huge pivots in a cancer patient's life, and they often feel lost, confused, and extremely lonely. And that no one, not even their doctor, truly understands what they're going through, except survivors who've gone through this in the past. Patient health navigators are cancer survivors who are coming back into their job for a role to help patients feel emotionally supported and navigate all those resources in their local community. But they're underpaid, and very rarely do cancer patients want to come back and relive their own experiences. So that's why we're building an AI patient health navigator who is there, trained to know how to emotionally support you and navigate all those resources in your local community. It knows when your next appointment is and that you are likely to feel anxious, and that there's going to be a support group happening tonight where you can log on Zoom and be safe at home while you're immunocompromised. We want to build the first patient-centered, truly patient-centered app that cares for you outside of the clinic. We are Panacea. Okay, so what did we accomplish last week? So I met with 4 users and introduced the concept of AI to some of them. And actually, some of them liked it, some of them were a little bit iffy, so I think we have to work with introducing that technology to them. And then also, I met up with a potential research mentor. We're still looking for a mentor to help us kind of like conduct a study, but she was busy, so I'm still reaching out for that. So that's my ask. If anyone knows of someone who's experienced with like oncology or conducting clinical trials, that would be awesome. I also met with my team, and we did like a 3-hour session where we figured out kind of what the AI model will look like, so pretty proud of that. And then this week, we hope to launch the app because we've been fixing a few bugs, so yeah.
Hi guys, my name is Vi, and I'm the CEO of Touchstone. So according to the NHTCA, there's a drunk driving accident every 36 minutes in the United States, which equates to around 13,000 deaths yearly. We've all got here around 4 o'clock, right? By the time we leave, around 6 o'clock, close to 4 people will be close to killed due to a drunk driving accident too, and these could have all been preventable. with what we have in the market today, such as breathalyzers and interlock devices, yes, they're well institutionalized, but they're not necessarily accessible nor efficient, and we're here today to solve that. With TouchRight, what we're doing is creating a dual sensor system that detects drivers' blood alcohol levels totally non-invasively, with the use of fingerprint sensing and also retina sensing. We're creating an external device that can be applicable to all types of vehicles, and whenever the driver or the worker clocks into their shift, they would use our product, and that data would be automatically sent to the manager or insurance to reduce being drunk in the workplace and also insurance rate. What we accomplished last week was that we're creating the software component of our hardware side right now. So initially that product would be whenever the manager gets that data, they would see if the driver or the worker is above the zero tolerance limit or obviously below, so when they're good to go to work or not. And we spoke to a few pilots that worked on the DHL flights to see what they use right now in the market and see what's the issues with it is right now. And what we need help with is we're trying to do more and more market validation to see what's our initial primary target that we can go to and try getting more LOIs to see if we can fully fundraise our pre-seed fundraising. And yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Ian. I'm the CPO of Phenopsys. We're creating the first AI-native virtual data room. Now, for those that are unfamiliar with what virtual data rooms are, they're essentially what investment banking analysts and VCs use to store, transfer, and analyze thousands of financial documents during mergers and acquisitions. The problem is that these deals, these mergers and acquisitions, take 3 to 4 months simply because these analysts are taking countless hours sifting through these documents by hand. Phenopsys is looking to cut those deal times into less than half by empowering these analysts with features like AI index, document querying, with custom sorting for these data rooms, as well as AI autofilling of forms based on these documents. Now, this past week, we were able to implement our audit trails, as well as getting real-time updates for our data rooms. Now, going to the next week, we were actually able to connect with Clutch VC in Austin, as well as US Dermatology Partners for beta testing. So we're looking to iterate on their feedback, and also YC applications are coming up, the deadline's next week, so we're looking to kind of just boost our application and get that sorted out. In terms of what we need help with, I would say just getting connected with more people that are using data rooms, VC people, investment banking people, and aside from that, any of the mentors just have general feedback, we'd be all ears. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Harshit. I am one of the co-founders at Internest. And to kind of give a little brief into our company, I'll start with a story. So we all know that recruiting is hard, especially for internships. I feel like that's a lot of all we think about. And last year, I actually landed an internship at Fidelity, but the issue was I realized that the hardest part just started. Now I have to find out where am I going to live in a new city, who am I going to room with, who am I going to trust. And the biggest thing that I found was, for me, there was no solution out there. I would go into Facebook groups, I would try to go to Craigslist. A lot of the people are a lot more sketchy than trustworthy. So that's why we created Internest. So what Internest does is it's a roommate and housing finder platform to where you basically create a profile, put your preferences, a little bit about yourself, and you get matched with tailored roommates in the same area. So say I'm relocating to Dallas. I'll be matched with a lot of roommates in Dallas. Furthermore, we also match you with housing options. So we all know that finding Airbnbs, Expedias, Verbos, it's all cluttered and it's not centralized. So what Internest does is we centralize it all in one place, and we partner with apartments in the same area to where we can get you guys some subsidized apartment costs. So that's kind of what Internest does. So what did we accomplish last week? So we went to the career fair. There was a UT engineering career fair, and we talked with about 100 companies at the career fair. And we successfully onboarded a couple of clients onto kind of like the demo sessions. We spoke with one client about 2 days ago, and they gave us some pretty good feedback on our product, what they wanted to see. We also talked to a lot of apartments. We talked to around 10 apartments in West Campus, and we sent out our website. We sent out kind of the information they were really interested. And then what we're going to accomplish this week, we're planning on We're planning on reaching out to more career services because another avenue of marketing we found is like, instead of only going to the companies, why not get the interns themselves? So we're also going to go to like career services. We sent out a few emails so far. Another thing we want to do is finish out the UI and UX. We're about 80% done in our intern-ness facing side, but we do have a couple of like kinks to kind of get over. I think the biggest thing that we need help with right now is kind of getting in contact with like people in HR at these big companies, because it's hard to just kind of cold email and expect a response. So that's kind of like the biggest thing that we will want to meet with. Another thing is definitely social media advertising. We're trying to get it out to interns that are looking for housing and roommates. And to be honest, like, we're not sure if we should go like TikTok route or like which marketing strategy or avenue we should pursue. So that's another thing we want to do. And yeah, that's kind of the summary for this week.
Very clever how you
Anybody else?
Career fair. Yeah, and they thought they were selling to you, and you all flipped the script on that. So they, all your prospective customers.
We actually got an interview.
Yeah.
All right, did we miss anybody? Great. Well, look, good job. The pitches are definitely, it's only been a couple weeks, but the pitches are definitely getting better. You can see that you're getting practiced and more comfortable. It's good to see different people trying it and like practicing. One of the things that we work on in the seminar, but the other semester in the fall, which Ivy and some others have had a chance to do, is really turning the pitch from let me describe what it is and let me make it sound like here's my snazzy pitch, to let me tell you a story and let me just and make it a lot easier to understand. And it's one of the things that sounds a lot easier than it is to do. It's actually really hard. Even once you start doing it, it's easy to like fall out of it and start describing what it is again. Internists actually, they started with a story, and it was great, right? He's like, let me tell you about my experience getting, an internship. And then he was like, and so he made an internship, and then he started describing what it, then he dropped the story completely. It was just like, it does this, and it does this. And so the best thing I did is really stay in the story. But I really encourage you all to just really think about that, to think about how you turn it into more of a story, and less of a pitch, and more of, it's going to make it a lot easier for people to understand it and to relate to it. Another thing, when you're asking for requests at the end, I saw a number of really good requests at the end, for like requests for help. You really want to use this to be asking of the mentors and of me and others for help. And there's a lot of people who are listening. A lot of times, whatever it is you're asking for, you need an introduction to somebody. And so if you have your computers open or your phone, if you can go to bit.ly/Josh intro. Raise your hand if for some reason that doesn't work. But you go to a blog post I wrote a long time ago, and it's just a really good, had like a best practices on how to make that ask, to make it really easy for the other person to do it. And and any time you're doing this, like after class, like after you get up and say, this is what the intro's for, like you should send me an email like that, because that's gonna make it really easy for me to be like, all right, awesome, I can forward that to one person or two people, right? And as you're meeting other people here, you wanna go do that, as you're making those asks. And then, again, not to pick on anybody, but easy to remember internists because they were last. He said at the end, like, I'm interested in meeting HR professionals at big companies, something like that, right? That's a good request, right? But a better request would be, I'm interested in meeting HR managers at companies with at least 1,000 employees that have a regular intern program they run every summer. Okay, you know what I mean? It's like there's a lot more like, one's like kind of HR, and others like, okay, I've got a pretty specific idea what I'm looking for. And even ask them like whether it's a good, like, do you have an interns program? Right? Like, oh, great. So again, just thinking like the more specific you can make your ask often, actually, the more likely you're going to get an answer from people. But you guys did a great job. Really, really good. Yeah, that was awesome. So next up, we're going to go to office hours. And so teams, you can stay where you are. Lead mentors, you kind of know what you're doing. Guest mentors, if you want to, we'll kind of regroup over here and we can help get you directed towards one of the companies to go meet with. We're off.
Thank you.
Trying to get this nonprofit and get 5 votes to come like, and then I sent it to the website, and I go, oh, this is amazing. It's really,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, there's some similarities there for sure. Yeah, that's exciting. So develop so many ideas and so many passions for the problem itself. Trying to figure out how to keep it as simple as possible to start. John, not
just ways like, because you kind of want to keep like funnel of like, okay, you've got somebody who's interested, you want to buy it, but you want to get their emails, you want to stay in touch, kind of like one day or day, there's like a feature that's going to maybe highlight this creator. There's a lot of us type of just another thing to think about at the start is that you're also kind of like early adopter and kind of like special package, things like, percent off or something to buy annual licenses a month. So just something that makes somebody not only feel like they're getting it early and gives you more cash up front. So you're not just having everybody sign up on a monthly basis. But it's kind of one of those things that you do early on and play off the fact that people know you're early on, so it's okay for someone to go up and figuring it out and trying to get you more cash up front too. Buy the game, which is a game like that versus the one that's so yeah, a lot of stuff to think about there. So yeah, great questions. Yeah. Anything else, guys? Yeah, sure, yeah. Is this something that's like, just like kind of natural for these creators, like something that's like kind of always on the go, something, is this something that's going to have like a mobile interface, or is that native app to it, or?
that's what I was talking about. Where leave off their package. They just raise icon.me. So that'd be a good example of some stuff that you can do with Yeah, maybe that's what's like a stock there. Yeah, it's such a couple edits of you creating that video. Yeah, that's kind of
Sounds good. What are you going to this week? Yeah. Yeah, exciting guys. Yeah, good luck this week. We'll see you same time, same place. All right, y'all take care. But yeah, if something less than that, it's just like a sign up on a website to make a business really fast. It's going to be a basic business, you know, but and once you make a business, you can change it. You know, like it's not like it's like set in stone. But it costs money to change it too, right? So it's like, if you set it really bad the first time, it can be problems. But like, there's nothing you can do with that. So if you're like, hey, doesn't we have an operating business so we can accept it or so we can do some other stuff? I'd be like, go to some business, you have a business set up tonight. Start doing stuff. If you're like, hey, someone's going to really make an investment, like, you know, we're expecting to, over the next year, get hundreds of thousands of dollars, I would just skip that and work something. Thanks, Josh. Yeah. All right, guys.
Please fill out the attendance form, the QR code at the front before you go. Thank you. Quick reminder, once again, mentors and students, please fill out the attendance form. Thank you.